Hello, hello. All right, folks. Today is day 8. And today is one of my favorite topics. It's very near and dear to my heart. It is, take a guess. It's also very vital to living a totally fulfilling life. And it's not always comfortable. It's not always easy. But at the end of the day, it will tickle you and you will feel alive. You guessed it. It is being authentic. Day number 8 and commandment number 8 is being authentic. Now, I was setting up a whole situation. I was getting ready to stand up and do the live, but I really checked in with myself and I don't feel like standing up. And I don't always feel like the Shane show. And that is also authentic. It is also authentic of me to be in a bad mood. I'm not in a bad mood. I'm just feeling a little tired. And I know why. I just had sushi and I had the soy sauce and there's gluten in it and there's histamines in it and I feel tired. That's what happens. So this is also part of me being authentic means I'm not always the Shane show as you know it. And that feels so good to share out loud. I also got my tooth fixed. On to the next tooth. So I feel like, there's some activity going on that's giving me permission to be tired. And I'm committed to this practice. I'm committed to these 10 days of commandments that are here to help you fuck fears. I am waiting for my book to be live and purchasable. Everything fits, all the things are there. The publisher is telling me it's in review. So stay very close tuned. And by Monday, you will be able to purchase it at an $8 price. That's why I'm doing this 10-day challenge, is to introduce to you, all of you, the coloring book. It's a workbook. It is a self-help book. And it is a memoir. So, in a world that's constantly bombarding us with expectations, ideals, being authentic can actually be radical. So, authenticity is about embracing who you really are, right? Without fear of judgment, without rejection. Now, that's bullshit because those things happen. But it's really understanding that it doesn't matter. It will cause feelings, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean you have to change. So, what does it mean to be authentic? So, first, I want to tell you today's challenge in case you're watching short form and you're like, come on, Shane, tell me what to do. Today, number 8 is post an authentic moment of your day. What does that mean? You could take a skip down the street, you could just be taking a walk. This is actually a very authentic moment of the day. I had the air conditioner on for a bunch of days in a row, and I was like, it feels cold. I live at the beach. I want to feel warm and moist. And so here I am with my fan. I didn't plan the fan. It just happens to be sitting here. Cooper's here, stuffed himself behind the pillow. And this is an authentic moment in my world. I just got this new glass. How pretty. And it has my seltzer with lemonade. And I'm chilling with my new tooth. Anyway, so if you are here to practice and to play with being authentic, here's the thing I want to tell you. There's different levels, there's different areas of authenticity, and some are easier than others. Maybe it's really easy to be authentic in front of your dog, which means you might cry, you might be yourself and all the parts of yourself in front of somebody you live with because you don't have a choice. So the best way that I like to tell if I'm being authentic or not is I check in with my body. Like, do I feel relaxed fully? Is there any tension? Am I clenching my butt cheeks? Am I holding tension in my neck? Am I closing my hand? Am I managing thoughts and feelings and sensations that I'm not revealing. So I don't mean just like be authentic, wear what you want. I mean, are you your truest self? So here's the biggest way that I'm not my truest self. And I think that society also has this problem. And I learned this when I was mentoring parents of children with special needs. What I met with children with autism was they didn't have any social filters. And I loved it. It was so refreshing. It was like I was used to kids being like, Shane, woo. But these kids were like, whatever. They didn't look at me. They weren't excited. And then eventually, if they did, if they were bored or if they were done with something, they were just done. They weren't like, thank you so much. This has been lovely. I'm going to go now. They were just like, bye. I was like, oh, it's so good. There was one time I got this face peel and I looked like a burn victim. My skin was peeling off my face, but for some reason I went to work anyway. And the mother couldn't look at me. She was just like kind of doing all this like avoiding. And the little boy, he came over and he just started touching my face and I was like, it's so real. And it doesn't always feel safe to share that kind of vulnerability for me. Like, I know the way I operate. I like the other person to also be vulnerable. It's tricky because I know what I like to see as vulnerability, and that's authentic, right? So it's not always pretty, it's not always fun, and I struggle with it in certain areas because I'm human, but it's really our responsibilities to know ourselves so well that we can share when things get awkward, when things get muddled and weird and confusing, to be like, here's what's happening for me, because that is revealing your inner life. And to me, that's really fun. And it is like tracking and sharing not only what's happening for me, but what's happening for me in connection with you, in connection with the person. Could be a child. What's up, Hazel? I'm glad you're here live. So it's really fun to watch people that you love and care about unfold their authenticity and to play with it in a way that's like, I can do this. I could do that. Today I was working with a client and she's rather young in her 20s. And she said, because I'm only 5'2", people don't honor and respect me. So I was like, well, I do. And I'm like, do you honor and respect the people that are judging you? Do you know that they're judging you? No, no, no. So it's really our turn to express ourselves, to use all these commandments, to remember our power, to remember how awesome we are, so that when someone shows up and maybe casts shade, that you're like, I don't really even like what you think anyway. Like, I'm not into your opinion. It actually doesn't matter to me. Not in a mean or nasty way, but like, if that's just a Joe Schmo down the street and I don't really honor the way he runs his life, if he says I'm a loser, like, I don't really care. If someone I honor, if someone I think is amazing looks at me and just sort of blows me off, ouch, that hurts. And that's what it means, like, for us to remember as humans, how much more authentic can we be when it comes to the way we show up, the way we speak to people, the way we dress, the way we interact, what we choose to do with our time, with our money, with our energy. And today, be authentic. It's an action. It's not just like, oh, that's a cool concept, but it's an action. When someone's having a conversation with you and you feel bored or you feel unmet or you just feel like you're done, are you able to take yourself out of that conversation in a way that feels graceful and move it right along? Because that's authentic. Um, if somebody's just like talking and talking and talking and talking and you're really not interested, can you exit that space without feeling bad or will you stay in that space because it's the right thing to do? So I've been trained by children with autism because they just didn't give a fuck. They were just like, bye, done, whether it was with words or behaviors. And I was like, oh, that's so refreshing. So it's easy to lose authenticity when you're in an environment where people don't honor that or even know what that means. Um, you do it all the time. That's because you're freaking fabulous. And I know where I'm challenged at it. So I wonder if there's any place that even you, the great Hazel, feel challenged about being authentic. Like for me, sometimes around people who know me for a really, really long time, but I haven't seen them, because what might come up, or what used to come up more, is I want to be understood. So if you meet up with high school friends and they're talking about stuff from 30 years ago and you're more interested in like what's happening now, but no one's really asking you questions, is it possible for you to bring up, hey, here's what's going on in my world? And the risk that happens there is they might not know how to engage because it's not their world. So it's like in moments like that, how do you put yourself first, make yourself relaxed enough to be authentic and still stay connected to people that you're not seeing on a daily basis? So it's that kind of nuanced stuff. It can also happen with family who they think they know you for so long and they're just like, we know who you are. And you're like, actually, um, I don't know if you've gotten to get to know me as I've been evolving. Like to grow is not something that everybody values. Some people just want to get more stuff and go on more vacations and, be the coolest group in the whatever. But if you're a person who values, as I'm sure you are because you're here, connection, authenticity, pleasure, growth, vulnerability, then our conversations are very different than people who you haven't seen in a while. So that authenticity might feel challenged if you don't feel understood. That feels really true. I'm glad I shared that. Because when you're authentic, it definitely requires courage. It requires to take the mask. Of course, now I wish I had a mask with me. Um, it requires you to take the mask off. And that means you might say, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I've said that before. And people are usually like, you're interrupting what they want to do. So it's going to make people feel a little bit uncomfortable. So when you take off that mask, it does count on you trusting yourself. And I run Trust Club, the membership, and the doors are open if you want to join us in there. And it's about being able to show up with your vulnerable ideas, with your accountability to get your new stuff done. And it's approval from people that understand you, which I feel is different than validation from the free world. They don't know your stuff. So they're just going to make a quick judgment. And it's not fair that you take their quick judgment as truth when they don't know you on a deeper level. So when we're authentic, we connect with others on a deeper level. And then you build stronger relationships and you create a life that genuinely is fulfilling. Now, if you have a job that you don't love and you're around people who complain and do a bunch of shit, it will impact your life. And so then it's time to go back to your group of people that deeply know you and to be your messy, fucked up self. So it's not about perfection. It's about being real, being vulnerable, and being human. And as I share this with you, like all these, I wouldn't say all, but two places where I'm kind of dodging authenticity. I don't think I'm dodging authenticity. I know I'm dodging some, just some vulnerability. So I challenge you and myself to take a step towards authenticity today and share it in a picture, in a video, or a post, but share something real about yourself with someone you trust. and go in and make that decision that aligns with your true values, not just what's expected of you. And most importantly, be nice to yourself, be kind to yourself, and remember the world really needs your unique voice. So if you're going to do this today and you're watching this video, anywhere you're watching it, type in my voice, because that's where the hardest challenge may be. And because your unique perspective might make others uncomfortable and they might behave. So if you embrace your authenticity and you allow yourself to shine, we have no idea how good it could get. And that is, oh, wow. Okay, I'm going to read this. And that is a gift. So at my nephew's funeral, my daughter started to ask how I wanted your funeral, and I really wanted to say, fuck off. It's not appropriate. It was her way of dealing with the situation, but I wasn't authentic then. Yeah, I don't blame you. That's a tough cookie. It's like you're already grieving. It's like, don't put me in like round. And at a different time, it might have been appreciated. Good. Yes, Hazel. Type my voice. And also, thank you for sharing that vulnerability. That's a really vulnerable story. And so today, me feeling like, okay, I want to sit down. I didn't do the live yesterday. I gave an implementation day. And here I am again. Like, I'm a little bit tired. So it's really important to honor your authenticity. Now, that doesn't mean go to the other extreme and fire hose everything you ever wanted to say, because that will put your nervous system in a tizzy. So, as my wise friend Lisa reminded me, one little step at a time. That's it. Little baby steps, because we have parts, right? And awkward alchemy is a part of how I teach the unconventional icon method. We have to accept these parts, and our wounded parts, all they want to do is have us avoid pain. That's it. But if we avoid pain, we also avoid love. I'm talking to myself. So let's use our authentic voice. Let's show up. Let's do all the things. I'm going to do a quick review right now of all the different commandments. And then Monday, you'll be able to buy the coloring book. Day number 1, show the fuck up. Day number 2, play. Let me see if I could share my screen. Yes, I can. Come on. You know it's something that do. Do you see it? How cool is that? Let's see. Here we go. So we have show the fuck up, play, get curious, treat yourself, express yourself, take risks. Everything is energy, be authentic. Tomorrow, set boundaries. Sunday, create joy. And then Monday, boop, is the book. Now, in my Trust Club membership, there are 3 women working on their books, and they are all at very different places in their books. And it's really important to stay in the momentum, because Lord knows it could be years. Now, I started this coloring book maybe 2018, because it was before the pandemic. And then thank you for celebrating me with that, Hazel. And then I hired the artist, Tim, and then he did that. And then it was months and months and then years again. And mainly, I wasn't doing anything with it because it's a coloring book and there's way more formatting than a regular book. And behind each coloring page, which you'll see, there's black behind it. So that was a whole thing. So if you buy the coloring book on Monday, I have a special gift for you. So, and we'll do that the week after. So lots of fun things coming. It is a lot of work, and I was happy to pay someone to do it. He was really amazing. And then today, I thought like, okay, it's in. I'm going to look at it again. Nope, it's still in review. And then this morning, I finally figured out this one piece because my editor was on vacation and I was like, so it's done. And everyone who's a part of my super secret team, I will reach out to you, but it has to be publishable first before we could do anything. So Monday, I'm going to be going live all day because it's kind of like a telethon for everybody to buy my book at the special price of $8. And this is a great book for anyone. I would even say for a teenager because it does say fuck on the cover, but it's a very genius book based on how it's a memoir, a little bit, a lot. And it is a workbook. So there's things to do. You can color, there's notes, there's little oracle cards that you can cut out in the back. It's really lovely. It's like 65 pages. I'm so proud of it. And thank you so much for playing along. I look forward to your Be Authentic posts about an authentic moment of your day. And because this challenge is different, Video Vixen is coming up in August. And in Video Vixen, I think I still gave one. I gave like maybe three posts. I have to look at what I'm going to do. I haven't fully looked at that yet. Okay. I definitely will. Thank you, Hazel. This is what sisterhood is like. We just always help each other. We're always jumping to help each other. And Hazel is also a published author and an artist. And it's really important that we name our expertise out loud. Cheers to that, L'chaim. And I'm going to close out for now. So I'm going to close this. Let's see if I can still stop screen. I did it. All right, everyone. Have a magical Thursday night. It is Go Live Thursday in the Enchantress Society. So if you're a woman, come on over there and join us. It's really the best playground. It feels so supportive and loving. And I will see you tomorrow. Okay. Thanks for joining Live, Hazel. Take care, everybody.